And welcome back to me and Apex, but well, me and a pro player, and my boy, the pro player who's playing in the ALGS these days at the moment. He's pretty cracked, and today we are going to go through all the legends in Apex, including the new legend Ashe, and ranking them, doing a bit of a tier list system. We're going to be looking at them from the, the pro standpoint, and the competitive, the rank standpoint, higher ranked, lower ranked, and also for pubs. So giving them the biggest overview, I thought we can be extremely in-depth and giving you guys all the knowledge that you need to go and slay out in your games. Sit back, guys, and enjoy.
He's right in. Gosh, darn.
I ain't slept in months, y'all. I so red I can't see what's real. Roll me up a blunt, dog.
Alright, so let's do it, boys. Apex Legends tier list. All the legends. Let's do it. I got my boy Gyro here with me today. He's a pro player. Some of the clips on a video right now will be his. He's insane. And let's get into the first legend, the brand new legend. Let's go straight into it. Ashe. What are your thoughts on Ashe?
Currently messing around at the firing range with Ashe, and her ulti looks like insane.
It's so fast. Like, I was just using it then as well. It's so fast going from like point A to point B.
It definitely, I don't know what the range on it is, but it definitely feels faster than
I think
Wraith
it's 60
model.
meters. It's 60 meters.
Oh, okay.
And Wraith's 75. That's why it's a little bit faster.
Yeah. But it's like, it's going to be pretty Monka-esque with Revenant pushes in ranked.
Oh, 100% in ranked. It's going to be absolutely crazy because legit, like, no one can even chase you back through the portal if they destroy you really fast, or, one of you screws up and goes through by mistake or something, because it's just one way as well. It's actually insane.
That does mean that you can't resend as well.
Yeah, you can't resend if you get knocks and stuff. That's very true.
Yeah, that might actually not be too bad then. As for a tactical, I have no idea what a tactical really does.
Basically, it puts out like a little arc, like a little circle arc. You can throw it really far as well, but it moves slowly through the air. And then if someone walks inside it, it basically stuns them and grabs them for a second. It's pretty strong. It's like area of effect ability as well. So yeah. But what are your thoughts about her going into like the competitive side? Do you think, from what I think at least personally, I don't think she's going to take Wraith's spot. I think she more deletes Octane from the competitive scene, and then some teams will still run the Wraith comp, and some teams might run her. What are your thoughts?
I think you're pretty spot on, to be honest. I think the way her ulti works as being a one-way kind of send is similar to Octane enough that people would just run an Ashe over an Octane. As for like that's ulti-wise, but as for playing like split angles, you can kind of play split as an Octane. Ashe doesn't really have an escape.
That's true, because Octane does have the stim or the insta jump pad to get away kind of thing.
Yeah,
what do you think about her passive though? Is that going to be very relevant in comp? The ability to see where someone could be ratting, for example, to, get banners once you kill two members of a team?
So it like pings where they're at?
It pings where they're at once, but only once for like a second. It doesn't follow them when they move, just for that one moment when they get pinged.
I think that's kind of camping in ranked kind of cancer, but I don't think it'll be really impactful in comp at all.
Okay, I didn't think so either, but yeah. I'm sure she'll be dominating all the pubs in the moment and everything like that. Where do you rank her though? S, A, B, C, D, E, F. Where do you think she ranks?
At the moment, it feels like an A.
Like I had her in the same spot. Yeah, for sure. I had her in the same spot.
Gonna have to play more to see how she feels though.
Oh yeah, definitely, for sure. Alright, Ban. Where do you think Ban ranks? I guess as over time, like, she's one of the legends that hasn't got many changes apart from ult a little bit here or there, or early on changes to a double time. But she's kind of fallen away a lot just in the fact that there's been so many scam legends brought into the meta, or brought into the game itself. Where would you rank her?
Yeah, I think, for competitive, I put her like really low. Unfortunately.
Sorry, no, 100%. I agree with that.
But
is she like an E or a D tier for a competitive? Probably like an E.
I'd say D. I think she has used.
She has some use.
I mean,
to be fair, we have seen Shiv actually running her in competitive, with some decent success. I mean, he's like, I guess the bang expert, but still.
I think like playing the character that you're comfortable with and allowing you to have confidence is probably why he.
Oh, he's one of that's one of the most important things. 100%.
Yeah. But her ulti is really strong. It also has a lower cooldown than Gibby ult, so you can actually be pretty aggressive with Bang's
Isn't
ult.
it like a 6-second stun when you keep by Bang ult? I'm pretty sure it is. It's a stupid long time. It's so strong.
Yeah, like the cooldown on the ult itself is shorter and the stun is bigger. Like the smokes have some utility. With Valkyrie and Caustic and Gibby being like a strong comp at the moment, people moving away from Bloodhound a little bit. She might find a bit more space. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put her in C.
C? Alright, move her up. Alright, let's do that. Talking about Bloodhound. Bloodhound used to be, he used to dominate the competitive scene, he used to dominate the ranked scene. He was always a great legend to start out playing the game on, etc. But from what at least I've noticed, they have been falling away a lot in the pick rate. Why is that?
With the buff to Caustic and with people learning, well not learning, but figuring out how Valk is so strong for competitive, people have been trying to like run the Valk Gibby Caustic or just a Valk and Gibby comp. But Bloodhound's actually coming back a little bit more into competitive.
Okay.
Like TSM starting to run her a bit more, or run them a bit more.
Yep.
And I think there are a couple of other teams that are going back to the Octane Gibby.
Will we see
Bloodhound.
more Bloodhound at the start of the new map, just so people, at least in ranked on the new map, just because people don't know all the angles and everything as well? Will that be a thing, do you reckon?
Could be.
There are a lot of choke points in this map as well. It's always good to have a Bloodhound like before you go through a choke point and whatnot.
Yeah, I think you're actually pretty spot on with that. Like people will definitely want to run the Bloodhound just to see where people like are gonna want to sit, and I don't know. I've seen the map layout. I'm a bit Monka-esque to how many chokes there are.
Yeah, there's a lot of chokes.
hopefully-
It's actually crazy.
Hopefully it's not too bad.
That's what I was gonna say. Like with this new with the new map, from the little you've seen, the little we've all seen. What do you think's actually going to be better? Do you reckon it's still going to be Gibby Valk just because it's pretty big map on that note, so rotation wise? Do you reckon Caustic's going to have a play because of all the choke points, or what are your thoughts?
I think Valk will definitely be better on
Yeah,
this map. I think
see
Gibby.
them not being better.
I think Gibby will always be meta because like
You can't not
have
have a Gibby on your team. He's the best legend in the game.
and they just randomly buff his dome. I don't know why.
Yeah, sorry, I haven't tested or anything, but his dome was made taller so that when Valkyrie's ulting, Valkyrie doesn't get shot at all while in the animation of it, which is stupid. But yeah,
that is pretty much how to put it. I'm not sure why they would remove the only counterplay to a team.
it makes absolutely no sense. But yeah, so where would you put Bloodhound?
Bloodhound would be like a low B at the moment in
Okay, I
how
feel
the
that.
meta is running. You can still run Bloodhound really well as an edge comp.
Yeah, no, for sure. All right, well, Caustic then. We're just talking a little bit about him. Where does he actually rank? He's been dominating the rank scene, the competitive scene for a little bit now as well. And I'm not going to lie, it's one of the worst metas I've ever watched personally, and I doubt you've been enjoying playing it, but where would they rank?
I'd put Caustic in probably like mid to high A.
Okay, that's where I had them as well. A. Okay, I like. I know we saw TSM run the next legend a little bit recently, and I think EU's been running them a lot, especially one or two teams that EU run them for a long time. But Crypto, where does Crypto rank?
A lot of EU teams who run Crypto will say that Crypto is S tier. And I agree.
Just because the knowledge you get from Crypto is insane. It's so good.
Yeah, I think that Crypto is an S tier character just because like he's hard to play, which doesn't make him like an OP character.
But the thing is, I don't know. Can we put him S tier though? Because S tier is like the legend you must have on your team no matter what. I don't see him as a must-have legend in comp. You can run comps without him, for example.
Yeah, so like the EU guys would put him as S tier, but I'd put him in like really high A. I think that you can definitely make it. Yeah, like A+.
Yeah, I feel that. He didn't get any changes or any buffs this season, did he? I don't think so. Not that I know of, at least, anyway.
Nope, he did not.
No, he did not. Okay, interesting legend. The Australian boy himself, Mr. Fuse. Fuse is... I don't know, some people for a long time have been saying that he has potential to be good. And he's been played a little bit in comp recently as well. He's been played quite a lot in ranked as well. His knuckle clusters are some of the most annoying, strongest things in the game. His ult's decent within its own right. The ability to stack nades is super strong.
Yeah, on paper, he's actually strong.
But the thing is, does he offer enough to a team in order to take out another legend from your comp to actually play him? Or are you giving up too much to run him?
I think if
especially on such a big open map where rotations will be important coming up.
Yeah, I think that he Caustic offers both the defense and the offense with gas, whereas like Fuse is more of a crowd control. Where if someone's like playing behind cover on a rock or someone's trying to play a split angle on you,
knuckle cluster them or ult them. Yeah.
You just knuckle cluster them off. You can ult a bubble. You can spam nades. Like that's probably the strongest thing about him.
Nade spam is insane. Yeah, just his spam in general. It's so good.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like he's hard to play just because he doesn't offer as much ease as Caustic does. Like when you're holding a building,
yeah,
like nothing stops you from getting like pushed or spam naded as a Fuse. Like you might be able to just start chucking nades down, but
they can just push through them, or they can just wait them out, then come in after. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, whereas you can't really wait out a Caustic because he's just infinitely popping barrels down.
So would you say he's like a B or a low B, or would you put him in C maybe even?
I think he's a high C at the moment until people figure him out a bit more.
Yeah, I feel that. That's fair. And Gibby, I don't think we need to talk too much about him. He's probably the strongest legend in the game. Basically, 99.9% of teams run him. It's actually insane.
That motherfucker is S tier, and there's just no conversation.
As a comp player, do you actually want to see a comp like a meta where he's not part of the meta? Do you want to see him nerfed into the ground so things change up, or do you like the fact that he's so prevalent?
I think that people don't really understand how much of a potential shit show the game could become competitively without a Gibby. Because Gibby does...
Because he offers the ability to play space and to back out of fights and move into fights. Would it just encourage more ints, I guess, without him?
Well, with
Like
with his dome,
less structure to a game without him, I guess I could say.
I think it's just less like potential for like I guess bullshit because like they can pretty much like add some really ridiculous legends or like different things to the game, and like a Gibby Dome is a counter like nothing beats
everything,
like
basically.
indestructible cover.
Literally, the
Yeah.
only one, like, I guess there's like 2 abilities in the game that do anything against it. And, like, Fuse Ult around it to annoy you, and then, like, Crypto EMP to get rid of it. That's literally it.
Yeah, and I think that if they increase its cooldown on the bubble to make it a bit more punishing if you like just burn above,
Yeah.
then I'd put his bubble on a minute cooldown or like at
No,
least a
I
45
feel
second
that for
cooldown.
sure, yeah.
And then I feel like he'd be okay.
What about his arm shield?
Like-
do you think it's still in a good spot right now?
Yes. The bleed through that they've added on the
bleed
arm
through is
shield,
really important, yeah.
I thought it was going to be really bad because like even if you like shoot part of the gun shield that's not behind his body, it still does damage. That's like it doesn't matter that much. His bleed through on the gun shield is good, and his ult like having a longer cooldown when they made
That's
that a
good
while
as
back.
well, yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
he's like always going to be ested just because of his like
His
12
bubble.
seconds of indestructible cover. You
Yeah,
can't beat
legit.
it. Yeah.
That's so good. Alright, a legend that went through a phase of being ridiculously strong and played a heap in ranked, but never really pushed too much into competitive, but always was a big feature in pubs. Still is a big feature in pubs. Not really played that much in ranked at the moment, but Horizon. Does Horizon ever have the ability to come into competitive, or are they just always going to be that pub / possible rank legend?
I think that Horizon has viability. I think that especially in a Caustic meta,
Especially with
where
the
in
old
Endzone-
Caustic coming together, yeah.
like her Q gives you a lot of time to stall out a
Yeah, because you can sit up high while there's a big fight at the end. You can sit above the Caustic, traps, the Caustic ults, etc.
in certain zones, and then there are other zones where that's not viable, and you're also giving like the rest of the players in the lobby the same lifts.
That's true. That's
And
very true.
getting her to endgame, I don't know. It seems that she's definitely more of an aggressive character that you utilize in edge fights.
Yep.
But I think that as a character as a whole, like her kit, she's probably like a low B.
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't think she's really in the meta at the moment. But I don't really know why.
Okay. You just think other legends are just simply better at doing what she does, what she offers.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so next the OG legend, the Lifeline, the only medic in the game.
Yes.
It's weird that like when you look
Still.
at comp, like if you just look at comp, you know nothing about Apex, you'd be like, wow, you're not running a medic in your team. That doesn't make sense. Like, why don't we see a medic, for example, in a comp team? Why isn't she played? Does she just not offer enough to a team comp? Is that why? Is her ult just too garbage?
Like yeah, they've changed her ult to make it slightly better, but I'm
It's
pretty sure it still has a
let's be real.
yeah,
Her
it still has a
cooldown is
high cooldown.
ridiculously long. It's crazy. Yeah. Like,
it
for
6
example, her
minutes?
ult, you get like 3 items out of it, and it takes like 3 minutes to get, whereas Loba's ult, you get 2 items each, unlimited ammo, and it's 90 seconds.
Yeah. So Lifeline's ult, I don't know. They need to rework that completely to make
Yeah.
her more like combat effective as a medic. But her tactical is really strong. Like that buff to the tactical is really good.
The
but-
drone, where it heals faster? Is that it?
Yeah, but
It heals super
when
fast, yeah.
when you're thinking about like playing a Lifeline in comp, like you'd pretty much be replacing Lifeline for Gibby.
And you can't do that. It's
Because-
impossible, because then you just don't have bubble in the cover and the protection.
You don't have bubble, like you.
You don't
like,
have ult to
you
create
treat-
space or be aggressive. You don't have the
Exactly.
peak ability either. Yeah, I feel that.
Like if you're trying to build if you're trying to use Lifeline's strengths around her being able to res while you're covering, then
So you
you're
have
like,
to be an aggressive team and you have to fight.
Yeah, I guess, but you're planning on going down, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas,
You're like, you're preparing
down
for
as-
the worst. Yeah.
If you go down as Gibby though, like that like, covers all bases. But
Yeah,
Lifeline
exactly.
doesn't.
Yeah, true. So is she like slow C, D even?
I put her in D.
I guess when we think about that, that's for like comp scene. Like for ranked, I mean, she's more playable in ranked because you just you're much more aggressive, and depending on how you play in ranked, you can just int a lot. So she's a good fighting legend. And for pubs, she's great. Because you just, especially if you're solo queuing or something like that, it's great to have a Lifeline on your team.
Yeah, and they, I feel like they feel valuable to the team when they can help their team out and like res and pop the
Oh,
drone
yeah, for
and
sure.
like cover their teammates. Like I feel like as pubs, you'd probably be in like B or low
Yeah,
A.
for sure. Alright, Loba. I remember a little while ago, and very occasionally there are teams that run Loba, and technically, if you can comp-wise at least, if you can get a Loba to endgame and you're in a good position, you'll win that game because you have a Loba, because you get unlimited grenades at the end of the game, you get armor swaps, bats, etc., etc. And they changed
Yeah.
the Q recently as well to make it better.
Her Q is so nice now.
It's super good now. It's super smooth to come in and out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But where does
uh,
she sit?
Loba gets heavily punished in a zone closing from 4 to 5, but like if you manage to find a spot from zone 6 closing,
Yep.
or zone 5 closing to zone 6, like the very end circle, then like you said, having the nades to spam in the end zone, like and not needing to worry about like resource management because you can always just
grab
up
more
resources
ammo,
from
grab
boxing.
more whatever you need. Yeah.
You have infinite resources basically. Like that is really strong in a battle royale, but at the same time, like loot doesn't usually win you a game in a BR.
It's all
like,
positioning at the end of the day.
All positioning, it's all teamwork, and like it can definitely help. But you watch Hal, and this man's running around with like no light.
He's
ammo.
running around with like 40 light ammo exactly.
Yeah. Like almost no meds at all, but they still manage to win and play consistently.
Just because of good team play and just good positioning. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, the fundamentals. But Loba's definitely like I'd say like a solid B tier character.
Is it? Okay, I like it.
Depending on your playstyle. Yeah.
Okay, my most hated legend in the game, but Mirage.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Revenant.
I do
Mirage.
hate Revenant. I hate Revenant, but I hate Mirage more.
Okay.
Yeah, so where does Mirage sit? Is he just? I mean, obviously, when it comes to play level, he's just. I don't think he's good. I don't think he has a place.
What's the lowest tier that we're going to at the moment?
F. F's the lowest.
Yeah,
we got no one in
he's
E and no one in F at the moment.
He's an F tier.
He's an F tier. Yo.
Yeah, for comp he's absolutely F tier.
Yeah, 100%. Even for ranked, he's absolutely terrible. I mean, pubs he's fun, but you can do whatever you want in pubs, so it's no big deal.
Yeah, I think he's fun for pubs. It's just like
he's a fun legend to play for sure. It's fun to bamboozle people. It's fun to like bully people
Yeah.
when you're in your ult and they can't tell who you are.
I think that it's just that he's more fun.
By the
Like,
way, talking about Mirage, maybe remember I was in the firing range earlier, and footstep audio on people sounds really good now. I think they actually might have fixed it. Maybe. So we can have our
Oh.
fingers crossed.
So like they don't like Mirage's footsteps, like when his decoys, how they sound. Do people's footsteps sound like
That's
that
how people's footsteps were sounding when I was in the firing range. Yeah. So I can hope. We can hope on that one.
I'm hopeful.
Yeah. So we spoke about Octane earlier in relation to Ashe and Ashe replacing Octane. Does Octane now, indirectly get nerfed because of Ashe coming into the game? Or where does Octane sit?
I don't think so. I think you can still rotate. Like the thing that Ashe gives is like her rotate is like a Wraith Portal and Octane Pad combined, so that you get the kind of one-way transportation or rotation that you get from a pad, but you get it the safety of a portal at the same time.
Yep.
Like you won't be taking damage through. You can't mess up an Ashe ult though. So with
That's
Octane
true.
Pad,
If you do, you're screwed.
You can redirect, you can change your direction,
You can tap strafe off it, etc.
You can make some sort of change. With Ashe's ult, like you are walking through that thing, and wherever you're coming out on the other side is where you're coming out. So
Yeah, no, 100%.
someone sees that and they're pre-planting nades, like that might also, like you can't really mess up an Ashe ult. Like you'd have to be.
That's very true. That's very
careful with
true.
it.
So does that mean Octane's probably still an A tier or high B tier, or where would you put him?
I'd put Octane as high B tier.
Okay.
Just because I think that I think for comp definitely high B tier. High B tier for Octane.
Okay, got you. Do you think many teams will still run Octane? I know he's falling out of the meta a little bit at the moment, but do you think many teams are going to still run him, especially with Ashe coming into the game?
Yes, I think that Octane is a
Just
character
because he does offer that ability to change up in the utility of his jump pad compared to what Ashe's ult offers.
Yeah, it's also not telegraphed. Like I feel like Ashe's ult will probably be. Actually, let me just see if I can do it now. If I use Ashe's ult, it doesn't look like I can put Ashe's ult down and then take it whenever I want. As soon as I use it, I take
No,
it.
as Ashe, you take it whenever. Yes, as Ashe, you
Yeah,
take
okay.
it easily, which is a bad thing as well. Because if you misplace it or halfway through you don't placing it and you use it and you see someone at the end, you're screwed, kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't think that Ashe, like Octane, can pre-place his pad and it's not telegraphed, so you can just put it down and then take it whenever you're like ready.
Yeah, no, that's
And
very true.
like people will only see you start flying through the air, whereas like with an Ashe ult, I feel like people are just going to see that big portal, and like as soon as Ashe comes through it, like if you're like not ready, it's definitely going to be heavily like timing. Like you have to make sure that you get the timing
Yeah,
right.
for
'cause
sure.
You can't just take it whenever you want.
Okay, Pathfinder. One of the best legends I used to find to watch in the OG days of ranked and competitive, but definitely fallen out of the meta as other legends just do what he does better, and he's built like a goddamn fridge, so he gets absolutely fucking beamed. But
Yeah.
does he have a place? Could he ever be played in competitive? In ranked, he's still playable. Still a lot of people playing, especially if they have been playing him on Kings Canyon recently. Pubs, he's fantastic for. But competitive, can he be played?
Competitively, not really. If you're playing a Pathfinder, then like you're getting no team value out of his tactical.
Yep.
You're getting the same value out of beacon scans as you would get from any other character.
Yep.
And because you can't zip hop,
Like he used to be able to, yeah.
then like
His ult,
if you're
like
trying
he's
to
going to
take-
get beamed on his ult. And it
Yeah.
doesn't hold that value late game where you can sit above everyone b-hopping around. Well, not b-hopping, but zip hopping around either.
Yeah, exactly. His strength has fallen out, as well as for the reason that you said, that other characters can just do what he can do better.
I've had this thought
Octane
about
is-
Pathfinder for a long time. What if they made it so Pathfinder was the only legend that could scan beacons? Would that bring him back into the comp scene?
Yep, instantly.
Do you think that's something like that could be done? Do you think it's a good thing that could be done to the game or not?
I don't know how they'd make it work because they'd be changing the identity of all the other characters.
That's
that
true.
could
They
scan
wouldn't be
beacons.
recon challenge. They wouldn't be recon characters anymore. But if you think about it, like Crypto's still good without it. He's not as good by any means, but I still think it's stupid that his drone can scan the beacon. It's so strong. And
Yeah,
Bloodhound's still meant to do it. He'd still be useful.
Bloodhound would still serve like Bloodhound would actually serve the purpose that they should like serve
Still,
as just
yeah.
being an
A
edge
scan
fight
in front of you,
character.
edge fight, exactly.
I don't know. I think they gave way too many characters beacon.
Like
Beacon
the fact
scan,
that
so
Valkyrie has a beacon scan is insane. She's so
that doesn't
strong,
make any
but-
sense at all.
Yeah, literally. You can
Like, she
scan the
doesn't have
beacon
to
and
be a
then
recon
instantly
character.
rotate to it straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But
just because she has a passive that has wall hacks and an ulti that takes you places doesn't mean it has to be recon.
yeah, that's crazy. So where does Pathfinder sit though? Is he like a D, C tier? Probably C tier maybe? Low C tier? At least for,
He's
for
like-
competitive scene?
Yeah, for competitive scene, he's probably like D tier. He's really not that good. He's not like full E.
What about for ranked though? For ranked, where is he? Is he higher for ranked because of the more inti play style? Because it's, it's get in, get out, etc., etc.
More ranked because you can make like solo plays a fair bit. I'd put him in like either high B or a low A.
He's
in
still a
ranked.
good like 1v3 legend as well for ranked and pubs as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
no,
Okay.
he's definitely still fun to play in ranked.
By the way, going back to something I spoke about earlier, Gibby. One change that a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people thought about making to Gibby, and a change that I actually think is good. Should his dome, his bubble, be given a health bar?
All right, so I've always thought like maybe it's a bit too 5-head or it's a bit too complicated.
Yep.
But his dome should be split up into different into shapes, like maybe a hexagon shape,
Okay,
and those different pieces you can break pieces of the bubble.
that's interesting.
So if you see a Gibby dome just fall out in the open, then you can see like the however many different shapes there are. Like in
Because
the top
it
of the
means
bubble
like
and-
it means when it gets destroyed, your whole bubble doesn't get destroyed. You can still play other parts of it.
yeah, but you can like people can then nade spam in. It'd probably have like maybe 250 HP per shape or like square of like that piece of the
Yeah,
bubble,
yeah.
and then
I
your
actually
team
like
can
that.
like
That's an
focus
interesting
fire
idea.
it. You can break a part of it, and then you can start nade spamming in. And you can like the bubble's massive. You can still avoid like nades, but at least like if a Gibby ult's coming down and it like starts ticking a bunch of your bubble, then you're gonna have less than 12 seconds to just sit in there and do something. Like you have to do something.
That's a really
earlier.
cool idea, actually. Yeah, for sure. I like that.
Yeah, but as for being flat destructible, like a flat HP,
Yep.
it'd have to be so high so as to not kill the character. And if it's too high, then you're not really going to
Yeah, it's not going
invest
to
the
do anything
resources in
anyway.
breaking it.
Yeah, exactly.
Or it's going to be too low, so that's too easy to break, and then he'll never be played again.
True. Alright, well, Rampart. Honestly,
They
does
didn't
Rampart...
change it this season, did they?
No changes at all. None at all. They increased her for her heirloom. They buffed her for her heirloom, so they sold heirlooms and they just forgot about her again.
Yeah, look, that was kind of like, yeah, that's really what happened. There's
Yeah,
there's no
legit.
two ways about it.
So
They
what is
buffed
she
her,
like?
sold an heirloom.
Is she just super
That's
low?
it.
It's like E, D tier?
I put her in A tier, yeah.
Yep.
I think Rampart's terrible.
Yeah, gotcha.
I think
agree.
I think that in ranked, though,
If you're
In
playing against
ranked?
cheaters and stuff in ranked, giving you the first
Yes,
shot,
dude.
etc. She's like the cheater killer. She's the one way you can kill cheaters, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
for
everywhere else,
sure.
I don't know, she's pretty much A tier.
Especially if you play indoors with her, it can be really fun right now as well. If the enemy doesn't know exactly what's happening, it can be so good as well because you can just fucking charge your ult up and shoot them straight through the door. It's so fun.
And you can put a wall down to stop them from kicking the door,
Yeah.
and then your wall builds and have your ulti out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. Revenant, does Ashe coming in bring Revenant teams to possibly play or no?
I don't really think, like, it sounds like crazy, right? Like you just
It
pop
sounds
a
so
Revolt
good. It
down.
sounds awesome, but is it actually
Yeah.
that good in reality?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think that if you like Revolt as an Ashe and then you take it and then you make the portal, first of all, everyone's going to see where the Revolt's coming from because of the new,
Because of the new way the
visual
Revolt
effects.
works. Yep.
And then you're going to see Ashe come through a TP, and like the same way that like you can mess up Wraith as they're coming through a TP, at least Wraith can go back. Like not being able to go back as Ashe, you're probably just going to get sent back immediately.
Yep.
I think it's going to have use for getting like split angles and high ground angles, maybe as like a similar to a solo pad. But like Revenant Ashe won't be as strong as Octane Revenant, I think.
Yep, I agree with that. Yeah. Okay. So where does
Which is
it-
good, right? Like you don't.
Oh
you
no,
don't-
it's
you don't
100%.
fucking-
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
The Rev meta is fucking terrible. I fucking despise Revenant. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So where is he? Is Revenant like C tier maybe?
I put Revenant. Personally, I'd put Revenant in D tier
Okay.
just because he's an inty briefy character that like I don't see a way that they can make him not that style of character.
Yep.
So in a battle royale, like if you're just briefing somebody else's game, but you're getting no real value out of it.
No, I agree. Like at the end of the day, he's not a character that's gonna like win you the game. He's just a character that's gonna get you some KP, and he's just gonna grief
Yeah.
other teams. Okay.
Yeah,
I
I
feel
put
that.
him in D tier.
Okay.
Personally.
The legend that was ridiculously broken when he first came into the game, Mr. Seer.
Oh yes.
Did he just get nerfed into the ground?
So, I think because so many people have been used to Bloodhound meta and the ease of just like pressing a button and having just wall hacks wherever you want it, I don't think that people still see Seer for the kind of strength that he has. His tactical is an instant counter to a Gibby bubble res.
That's
Like
true. I
we were
always
saying
forget that you
before.
can cancel reses through bubble with that. That's very true.
Yeah, so like we were saying before, with Gibby Bubble being that ultimate power where no matter what happens to you, if you get down in the open, you can always bubble, res, pop a bat, then try and like save yourself. With Seer, if you're watching a Gibby Bubble and you're seeing the Gibby res, you'll wait until the last second before they res to cancel it, so that if they have to restart the res, then they're not going to get
They won't have
it out
time because the bubble will go down. Yeah, exactly.
It's very punishing to Gibby teams, especially if like if you force a Gibby's bubble and then two of them are trying to heal in the bubble and you like wait for a split second, use this tactical, you can cancel their heals and then they have to restart it. You can make an aggressive push up of that. His ulti is quite strong.
If placed correctly, it's really strong. Yeah.
I think that when they released him, because his passive was so strong
The damage
as a
and
wall
everything
hack,
it did. Yeah.
and the damage and everything, people thought I think that he was a wall hack character, like because of his passive.
Yep.
But then when they took that, like when they kind of made it a lot less frustrating and a bit more skill based, people just thought like, oh, I don't have wall hacks with him now, so I won't use him. But then forgot the utility that you can get from him.
Okay.
I think that he'd probably replace a Bloodhound in an edge fight, like an edge comp meta.
You reckon he would replace Bloodhound? That's what I was going to say. I was going to ask, do you think Bloodhound
think-
is just a better legend and better, recon legend?
I think that depending on your playstyle, like largely it is, but if you have a playstyle and you build a playstyle around Seer, you can make it work similar to how a team would play Bloodhound.
Yeah, I
But
feel that.
you'd use his utility just slightly differently.
Okay, that's cool. So where does he rank? We put Bloodhound at B. Is he also B, or is he slightly lower towards C?
I'd put him in C. I think
Okay.
that he did get kind of nerfed into the ground.
Yep.
And you have to be like good to use him, and he's a bit niche.
Yeah, I feel that.
So probably a C.
Valkyrie. Once people worked out how strong Valkyrie is literally everywhere. Basically, almost every team at least has run Valkyrie recently or is currently running Valkyrie. Every Valkyrie in my pub game has a charge rifle and I hate them. Every Valkyrie in my ranked game is terrible. But where do they sit?
So when Valkyrie dropped, like I was on that straight away. I think it was only Sentinels that were running the Valk Gibby Caustic right off the rip. But like Valkyrie makes any spot that you land on the map viable. So if you want to play from Skyhook, for example, or Thermal, and you want to still be able to rotate and not have to like be in a situation where the zone's pulled across the map and you have to fight a team that's holding a position in front of you because you have no other option, Valkyrie gives you that other option. But
Yeah, for sure.
a lot of teams still haven't figured out like what options they realistically have.
Yep.
Some teams they're still like thinking, oh, it's zone 3. There's a team in front of me. I'm just going to Valk ulti over them and get landing Godspot. And they've just coin flipped and landed on a team and gotten both of them killed. And
So many times I've seen Valkyries just int on top of other teams and get them killed. It's
Yeah.
absolutely ridiculous. I'm pretty sure I watched it in ALGS last weekend where Pricey's team in the last game got absolutely and utterly griefed by a team doing that exact
they
same
did.
thing. Yo, it was ridiculous.
They got robbed. That
Straight
was
rob. That was
unfortunate.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah. But
So is she like?
the-
Is she A? A tier?
like I would personally put her in S tier
You reckon she's S? Okay.
for competitive.
Especially
but
with
she's
how
not-
open the map is at the moment as well. I guess and how big it is.
I would say A, but
Okay.
for me personally, I'd say S, just because like no matter what happens in a battle royale, no matter how bad a zone can be,
She can save that for you.
early on though, like not like you have to pre-think and pre-plan. Like okay, if the zone's going to be going here, you have to think realistically what spot you can actually Valk ulti for,
Oh yeah,
and
for
whether or
sure.
not you're going to be fighting a team, or whether it's going to be safe. There's a lot of thought and risk assessment and knowledge that goes into knowing how to like not int with a Valkyrie and not just coin flip.
100%. She's strong going into late game as well though, because you can always Valk ult up into the air while the other teams fight to buy time.
Oh, with Gibby Bubble now as well. That's going to
Especially
be
with
actually
yeah,
just
dude,
dumb.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say S, but
Okay.
probably A. You don't have to run it. You can run other comps as well and still be successful.
My girl, the legend that got the most love, I guess, in the
Hey!
update. Wattson, finally we get something.
Let's go.
So I've been asked this question like
Actually,
1,000 times if she's going to be meta now. And the thing I always say is the update was fantastic for her. It's going to make her so much more fun to play. She's going to be so much better, but she's not going to be meta. And while a team or two might try her in competitive and ranked, for example, she's not going to be played in them still.
How come? How come you don't see that as being competitive?
Because if you want to play that defensive game style where you set up early and stuff, Caustic's just better. And if you can't get to that spot to set up early, Caustic gives you more aggressively and even defensively in a bad situation to get into a spot than Wattson does. The only thing that Wattson has over Caustic largely is her ult. And the
Yeah,
ability to stop teammates.
I agree, dude. That was spot on.
Yeah, I mean, I get asked that question like 40 times a day, so I'm down to answering it. So where is she? Is she like a C tier legend, a D tier legend still?
So I think that with her buff, not having infinite shield
Regen. I hate that change. I wish they'd made it infinite still. The 250 like pool, it may seem like a lot,
Is it
but
only
if
250?
it's only 250 pool for the shield, yeah. I mean, she can still
All
indefinitely
three?
heal. She can still indefinitely heal herself and all any shield she's wearing slowly. But from the ult, it's only 250 in total for everyone to share. Like
Yeah, no, that's
that
not
might
enough.
seem like a bit, but if you're set up from the start of early game trying to peek people, that's like
exactly.
it's not that much.
It depends. Do they lower her cooldown for her ulti at all, or is that
No,
still
it's the same. It's the same still.
Oh yeah, okay. No, that's not the best. Like you'd go through, like you and your team would go through 250.
Like so fast. That's like that's like two
quickly.
triple take headshots, 3 triple take headshots, and you're just like, yeah.
Yeah, you get longbow headshot at once. Like that's like you
That's
have a
half
double
of
armor
it
that's
gone.
100 damage. That's,
Yeah, exactly.
That's most of it gone already. But I do think that when it comes to like defensive utility, I think that there's a lot to be said about being able to like poke and use ammo and save meds, because one thing that happens with Caustic teams a lot is running out of meds.
Oh,
So,
100%.
like the same with Loba. Like I don't know, like Wattson versus Loba, like Wattson gives you infinite shields, but Loba you can just load
Ammo,
yourself pretty much
meds,
infinite shields and
yeah,
ammo
exactly.
and
And
the rest of what you
nades,
need.
end
So,
game as well.
like I'm glad that they gave us some love, but
She needed
like you
it, but
said,
yeah.
it's probably still a C tier.
Yeah, I agree completely with that. I'll put her in C tier. And last, the OG legend, one of everyone's favorites, the sweaty legend, Wraith.
That's the Wraith main.
Where is she? You were a Wraith main back in the day. I remember those days. You still are a Wraith
Absolutely.
main, technically, kind of.
I still think that Wraith is like overall like either A or S tier.
I agree
Just,
completely.
but they have nerfed her into the ground so hard that she's probably not S tier at the moment,
Yeah,
but definitely A tier.
Definitely A
and
tier?
Yeah, I mean Wraith is just that legend where it, like the clutch factor, the plays that you can make, the end circle, like Q, avoiding damage.
yeah,
her
and I
portal
mean, I guess,
rotations.
yeah, with her portal, like, if you want to compare her portal to Ash's portal, like, the utility that her portal offers compared to Ash's is so much more. Not just, like, the extra 15 meters, but the fact that you can take it back, you can take it, you take it both ways, it lasts for a while, you can use it to zone hop, all that kind of stuff.
You can change direction.
Yeah,
That's probably
exactly.
the
You can change
biggest thing.
direction, exactly, if it's not going, if
Yeah.
you're not going where you need to go, etc. For sure.
Yeah, no, I mean Wraith in pubs, like obviously there's a lot of people that like hate the Wraith pub teammates that just insta leave and stuff, but
Yeah.
like Wraith as a legend is that sort of solo playmaker character,
Oh, exactly, that's who she is.
and no one feels as good to play as Wraith in my opinion.
I mean, even as a Wattson main, I agree. Like, playing Wraith and just popping off is just, like, it's just the best thing to do. It's so good.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So, alright, just before we do end it, because that is the end of the tier list, Ash, overall Ash, like, this, where do you see Ash becoming a actual member of the competitive scene, or do you just see her kind of like being played at the start, everyone testing, finding out, then it's going back to the old ways? Because leading into this, everyone's like, oh my god, Ash is going to take over the meta, Ash is going to destroy Apex, etc. I don't personally see that happening. I think she's going to like fall out of it very fast after F1 tries her. But how do you see it?
Yeah, I think that like Hal said himself that like
Valkyrie will like not be played. Like Valkyrie will be played by some teams, but I think it'll be in the same way that you've just said. I don't think that Valk will actually like be a meta character. Like
You
I don't
mean
know.
Ash, not Valk, yeah. Ash.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Ash,
no, you're good, you're good.
My bad. Does her Q go through a Gibby bubble?
I am not 100% sure, but I highly doubt it. If it does, that is ridiculously strong, but I doubt it.
Yeah. If it doesn't really go through anything, then I don't see her Q being all too strong.
I mean, coming into an
I think
end
her Q
fight,
is-
into endgame, it'd be strong, because it'd zap anyone, stun anyone that gets inside it endgame. But yeah,
If you can't break it,
it moves through the air very slow as well. It's very slow to move through the air, so everyone can see it. And I haven't tested it, but I'm assuming that you can break it. Surely you can.
I don't know if you
Like,
can.
everything else in the game's breakable when you think about it. Seer ult, Horizon ult, etc.
But you can't break Horizon ult while it's going through the air. You can only break it when it
That's
lands.
true. Only when it lands. That's a good point.
Wattson ult can zap it out of the air, so I assume that Wattson will be able to zap
Yeah,
out
100%.
Yeah, it looks like I'm shooting at it right now. It looks like a bullet's going through, so I don't know if it.
Oh, maybe you can't break it then. Okay.
Maybe
Interesting.
not. But Ash just seems to be a legend that's released that isn't overly broken like Seer, that has like a unique take to her that puts like a couple of different legend concepts together into one, like Wraith and Octane for her ulti, and I don't know, it's kind of like a mobile Wattson fence, so tactical. Hey, like
Yeah, a
just
little
being-
bit. Yeah, exactly. That's a good way to describe it.
Yeah, so I think it's a I think it's going to be just a fresh character that people are going to really enjoy playing pubs with.
I think she's going to be
exploring
great for
it in
pubs. Yeah,
competitive.
100%.
Oh yeah, but as for being like a meta, I don't think so. And look, that's not a terrible thing either.
There's nothing wrong with that. You know, the game needs good, fun legends to play. They don't all have to be comp legends when they come into the game, for example.
100%.
Yeah. All right. Perfect. Well, thank you for coming and helping me talk about the legend.
No worries, cuties.
Hey, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Now, if you didn't know, I actually do post some exclusive videos over on Facebook. That's right, I have a BirnoOCE Facebook account. And if you guys want to see some exclusive videos, over 20 exclusive videos that you won't see anywhere else, go check out my Facebook. It's pretty cool. On that note, I also have a Discord, I have a Twitter, I have a TikTok, I have an Instagram. All the links are below. Feel free to go check them all out. And hope you enjoyed the vid, guys.